Hey everyone, it's Ashley and I am back with a thrift store slash antique store haul, and I realize it's been a while since I've shown you guys some of my thrift store hauling, and I thought I would share some of the household items as well as some of the clothes that I've hauled. I do hauling also for some items for the family, but I just thought I'd show you guys the stuff that I got for myself in the house. So let's get started. We stopped in Phoenix on the way back from visiting family, and we stopped at an antique store, so it's definitely a really fun place to go visit. And I found this really pretty antique owl pin for $6, and for me that's a little bit of a splurge, but I fell in love with him and I couldn't resist. So he looks like he's from the 50s, possibly the 60s, and I just thought he was adorable, so picked that one up. And the next one is actually a fragrance find, and as you guys know, I have a bottle of vintage Shalimar in my collection, and this is the 1981 case that it has. And this one I found at that antique store before the first time that I went, and it had a third of the bottle left, and it was a complete case. So I found this one, I think it was for $20. But when I went back the second time, I found another one. It doesn't have the lid to it, but it is almost completely full, as you guys can see. And I did test it and spray it. And I found this one for $15. So I'm super thrilled because I've been using this one sparingly, out of fear that I would run out of it. And now I don't have to worry. I can go ahead and have a lot of Shalimar. So definitely, I know a lot of people don't consider antique stores for fragrances, but sometimes they have really great deals, and that is a great deal to me. So definitely happy with those. And the next items are mostly, I think they're all from Goodwill except for a handful, but I'm going to show you a couple more household items and then some clothes. So this is one of the ones that I got in Goodwill in Yuma, and it's adorable. It's this little bowl dish basically, and it has a little tiny squirrel on the top. And one of the people on Instagram was telling me that she had the exact same one before, so I thought it was really cool. But I use this for my makeup area as to hold some extra stuff. So, and I think I got that for like $2 or $3. It's very inexpensive. And then this is actually a DIY. I found this for $2, and then I found the actual base itself, which is just a candlestick, and the candlestick I think was $4, so this was a bit more expensive, but it's large. And I used some epoxy to glue it together to make my own cake stand, and you guys have probably seen this if you watched my makeup collection tour. So, and I think that was $6 total, but for me that was a steal. My friend Goddess of 4 here on YouTube has a ton of really beautiful cake stands, so I was definitely inspired by her to make something fun too. So, and the last kind of households, or actually there's 2 household items. This one is a Scentsy warmer that I found. I do have the top. I need to clean this up and wash it, but it is a turkey scented wax warmer, and I found this, I think it was for $3, which is a steal, especially for something Scentsy. So it does need some TLC, but it is in very good shape. It's just dirty. So I'm thrilled because now I have my pumpkin wax warmer, I have an owl wax warmer, and I have a turkey. So definitely excited. And the last household item is this lamp, which I think is super cool. It's actually a plug-in lamp. It does have a little switch to turn it on multiple levels, and I just love this because it's really rustic looking, and we live out in the desert, and it just kind of looks like it fits better with our home. So yeah, but it's definitely really neat. This one I think we got for less than $5, so definitely a steal, and we love it. The rest are clothing items. This is the fun part. Okay, so these are 2 of my favorite finds. I post on Instagram, as most of you guys know, and if there's something I can't decide on or I'm having, confusion over, I'll post it and I'll say, hey, what do you guys think? And you guys have helped me so much to figure out, like, on the spot, like, what should I get, when I'm thrift store shopping. So if you guys want to be part of the action and you haven't been, sign up for my Instagram account, and just follow me on there, and you guys can help me make like in the store decisions. But I went to Savers and looked around, and I found this Lauren Conrad, which is a Kohl's brand. And I love her clothes, but they're so expensive. Shirt, and it's a polka dotted long sleeve shirt. And it's like practically brand new. I don't think the person wore it for more than once or twice. And this one was $5.99. I think for the brand, it's worth the price point. But I loved it, and I thought it was super adorable. So pick that up. And this is actually my favorite out of the other ones that I've gotten. And this is another Lauren Conrad one. It was also $5.99. And this is another polka dot shirt. I guess there's a theme here. But it's really, really beautiful. It has really beautiful detailing. It's very flowy. And then in the back, as you can see, it's got kind of like a drop hem in the back, which is really pretty. And then in the front, it has some lace detailing, which is so pretty. So I thought this was awesome. And I love this. You know, if I wear it with a tank top, I can see this being really beautiful in spring or summer. So this was also $5.99, but definitely one of my favorite finds. While I was in Yuma, and I know some of my followers are from Yuma, and you guys know how it is. Yuma has some really great, you know, thrift stores. So if you need a thrift store shop in Yuma, good place to go. So I went to Goodwill, and they were having their half off day, which made it crazy, super, super packed. And somehow I managed to pick up most of this, plus some stuff for a thrift store swap with my friend. So, yeah. So this is a really cute, like, throw, very comfortable, kind of t-shirt material. And this throw has kind of the drapey bits at the front, which make it really nice to throw over something, you know, kind of basic. But my favorite part is in the back. There's this really pretty detailing. So if you wore a kind of a contrasting shirt underneath, you could see all the detailing, which I thought was great. And pretty much everything I'm going to show you is $2. So yeah, for me that was a great price. Also, this Croft & Barrow t-shirt, which I thought was really, really cute, and I loved the detailing at the collar. I thought that was really pretty, and this is going to be a great kind of spring, summer one. And although I'm usually iffy about stuff on the waist here, you know, elastic, I felt like this actually looked really cute on, so I was happy with that. Some of these are a little bit more on the kind of vintage style end, because I like to incorporate some pieces that feel a little bit vintage with some modern pieces. So this is one of the ones that feel a bit vintage. And it's actually a skirt, and it's probably a calf length skirt. So for this, what I'm going to end up wearing is, you know, something like a button down and a jacket, blazer, or something with it. But it's really, really pretty. I will have to wear a slip with it because it's kind of thin. And I think this was $2 as well. And I picked up this jacket recently, and it kind of reminds me of like a vintage newscaster, if that makes any sense. But it is actually kind of like a loose, baggy kind of jacket, but I think this is going to be really fun to wear, and I love the pattern. I couldn't get over the pattern, so picked that up. I think this was like $2 or $3 as well. Also, this shirt, which is a Liz Claiborne shirt. And this is a super, super comfy shirt. I've already broken into wearing this one a few times. It's just a loose kind of drapey shirt, cotton, so super, super comfortable, great with jeans and a t-shirt, that sort of thing. So, got that. This is kind of like a 2-for-1 thing, and they separated the items in the store. So sometimes if you're looking for something matching, you kind of have to move around the store. But I found this skirt, which has this kind of really pretty print on it. And I'm sure you guys have seen these kind of prints. You know, they're very classic in scarves and everything like that. And this one says Paris on it. If you look at the print, which I thought was really, really neat. But I thought this would be pretty, and this is almost an ankle length skirt. So, but I thought it would be really pretty, you know, with some kind of neat, not classic detailing. And then also, when I was wandering in the store, I found the scarf that matches it. I think the scarf will probably get like a ton more wear, but I definitely like both. And there was 2 for each of those. And I found this shirt, which is a Croft & Barrow shirt, and I just loved it because of the actual kind of material. It's very textured and super soft and comfortable. So this is definitely going to be a staple piece for me. Just a nice staple shirt. And the last item is this Anne Klein skirt, and it's kind of like a trumpet skirt. So it goes out and it has seaming along it to make it more flattering, which I thought is nice. And then it goes out and it's longer. So no luck on the pants front. I don't know. For me, sometimes I have a worse time finding pants, but yeah. I did find some good stuff, so I hope you guys enjoyed this thrift store haul, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Bye!